a negative answer to a warning from the United States. Argentina has rejected calls by the United States to limit its ties with China and Russia. Before starting his Latin American tour, the US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson warned against China and Russia's growing influence in the region. Tillerson described their presence in Latin America as alarming, saying the region does not need, quote, new imperial powers.
Well, after the Second World War, United States became the hegemonic economic, political, and military power in Latin America. And Russia and China influence in South America was quite small.
Argentina says interest in China and Russia is very positive. There is an increase in interest in China and Russia, and we encourage it because it seems very positive. It does not generate a conflict.
Argentina is heavily being benefited by the trade with China. And I don't think there is any way that the United States can overcome that situation. China is not seen as a danger by the political and economical elites in Argentina because they are not trying to change the political system in Argentina. They are no longer a Maoist revolutionary threat that they believe in the 50s or 60s.
China and Russia have been expanding their economic presence in Latin America. Beijing is Argentina's #2 trade partner after Brazil. China is also the main buyer of Argentina's main cash crop, the soybean. Argentina's trade with Russia stands at $900 million. Argentine officials are trying to double that figure.
However, Russia in 1991 has become a capitalist country, and China has completely changed its economical policies, and especially during the Kirchner era, Argentina tried to diversify its trade with other countries apart from the United States. So as a result of that, China is now the main overseas trade partner for Argentina.
Peru, which is set to host the Summit of Americas in April, has a $2.74 billion trade surplus with Beijing. Russia is also gaining a foothold in Latin America. Russia has close energy ties with Venezuela. Russia and Brazil are two members of the BRICS blocs, and Moscow is eyeing for a bigger share in Latin America's arms market.
Because what's the policy of Trump? Trump said that its main competitor is China. Yes, it could be the main competitor in the US market, but in Latin America, the US products, a lot of manufactured goods, cannot compete with the Chinese product because the Chinese products are cheaper.
The US top diplomat made some shocking comments about Latin America, which tells much about Washington's policies toward Latin America. He said the 1823 Monroe Doctrine was as relevant today as it was the day it was written. The policies have been the basis for US armed intervention in Latin America. Tillerson has warned about China and Russia's ambitions in Latin America.
And the policies of Trump to say, Latin America don't need another imperial power. In reality, it's like a boomerang to the United States, because in Latin America, everybody knows that the United States constantly have the policy to overthrow governments. They have sent marines to several countries, organized coup d'etats, while China has not done that, never.
And yet he failed to recount Washington's decade-long imperial policies toward that region. Numerous coups d'etats and military interventions are proof of that policy.